Hi everyone, my name is Jason Koo. Today I want to show you Neo4j's Aura Manager MCP server. This will allow you to administrate Neo4j cloud managed Aura instances. So essentially this will allow you to create, edit, and delete databases that are cloud managed. Now this server has 12 tools for interfacing with instances. You can see this first one is for listing all the instances you have access to, followed by 2 tools for getting details on each of those instances. One is by instance ID and the other is by a name. The instance IDs are unique and they are created when the instances are first started and cannot be changed, but the display name can always be changed. You can also create new instances, as you can see here. There are also 3 update tools, one for updating the display name, another for updating the amount of memory allocation for an instance, and last there is a tool for configuring whether a database is vector optimized. So if you're adding vector embeddings to an instance, you'll want to set the flag to true. You can also pause and resume instances, and here's the most dangerous tool, delete instance. Use that one obviously with some care. And finally, the last 2 tools is for listing tenants. You can use this to grab all your tenant IDs and then also a get tenant details. Now, you always have at least one tenant ID, and as you can see in the delete instance tool, you'll need a ID to run that in addition to the instance ID. Now, this server uses a subset of the available Aura API endpoints. Now, you can see most of the instance ones are available here. The only 2 that are not accessible are the customer managed keys and also the sessions endpoints, which are used for the graph data science instances. Now, if you were to have any issues with the MCP server, you can double check to make sure your Aura API is working by clicking authorize and putting your client ID and secret here, and then running these calls to make sure that they are working as expected. Now, the API should be accessible to all instances of Aura except for Aura Free. So if in your account, in this example here, I've got an Aura Free one. If you go up to the upper right and you click on your profile image and then select the API keys, if the endpoints are not available, you'll see that the create button is grayed out. So I do not have permission to create any API keys. But here I have an enterprise account, and again, if I go up to the upper right, select API keys, here I can see I have the create button option is available. So I'll go ahead and do that to demonstrate. Okay, so here you'll want to save this information because the client secret will not be available to you after you click past this dialog button. So usually you'll just click on the download button, or you can copy and paste this into a password manager. Again, if you want to test the API keys, you can go to this interactive doc, which I will link in the description. And you can just put in the ID and the secret here, authorize, and then make those calls. Now, to configure this in Claude, I've already done a video on setting up Claude. But basically, you're going to go up to settings, edit config. It will bring you to the location of the JSON file that you need to edit. And it'll look like this. So this is pasted from the PyPy entry page, and I'm just going to replace this information. Save this, go back to Claude. Again, you have to close Claude and then relaunch for the server to take effect. Oh, here I can actually double check that the server is up and running by clicking on the settings button here in the chat. Click down on Neo4j Aura. I can see all of these tools are available. What database instances do I have? Okay, you can see here I have access to quite a few, and here I can ask what are the details regarding the Star Wars database. Here, get instance by name. This function or this tool, I'm okay with it calling all the time, so I'll click always allow. Okay, I can see here that the database is paused, and I can double check by going to the Aura console, going to that database, and seeing that it is indeed paused. So I'm going to ask Claude to restart it. And I can see here that the Star Wars database is resuming. Once it is running, it'll look like this, running, then I'll be able to interface with the database using, say, the Aura Cipher or the memory MCP servers. And that's a quick walkthrough of Neo4j's Aura Manager MCP server. I hope that was useful. Happy coding, and I'll see you in the next one.